Hi, Oliver here, the Executive Director of the Lacey Trust. You may have been seeing the posts that we've been posting on social media, and you may be wondering, what are we up to? Well, before elections, we ran a viral civic and voter education campaign to try and inspire youth to vote and to believe that doing so counts. The campaign reached about 7 million people that we could measure, and it was very viral on WhatsApp groups and offline. However, we know that being a responsible citizen does not end at the ballot. We have to follow up our leaders so that they keep their promises and so that they deliver the public services that we need, as well as being accountable with our taxes. Last week, we visited a couple of villages in Kilifi County where we saw for ourselves how public services are scarce and even in some instances non-existent. We saw how bad roads are and impassable when it rains. We saw how hospitals didn't have medicines and didn't have beds. We saw how clean and safe drinking water was a problem to get. And we saw how education was neither here nor there. Yet, these places have leaders tasked with providing these essential services. We were curious to understand how citizens here are involving themselves with governance processes. For example, are they attending public meetings? Are they reading the county development plans? How do they keep their leaders accountable? How do they follow up their leaders? Where do they take their grievances? And so on. In this process, we spoke to about 100 women and youth, and we realized that there's an even bigger problem. They don't know who their leaders are, what they do, or even how to engage them. Take, for example, this lady who told us that she does not know who the current president of Kenya is.
Unajua MCA wako? Unamjua rais? Unamjua senator? Unamjua governor?
Here's another one who told us that the MCA is yet to be announced.
Unajua MCA wako?
Hatujaambiwa kama ni nani.
Hamjaambiwa MCA ni nani bado?
Many of them generally do not know what women reps do. We can't talk about development and leaving no one behind if citizens don't know these things. They won't know where to demand for their services and from whom. For local development to happen, citizens need to be civically empowered. They need to know, understand, and feel motivated enough to play their roles for the purposes of putting pressure on their governments to deliver the services that they need. There's a need for the political participation conversation to be sustained, not just in election year, but even after elections. We need more activities happening on the ground, and the language that we use needs to be simplified enough, even for people in Mashambani to understand. We invite you to be part of this conversation by engaging with our posts and even sending us an email at dm@lacey.org. Thank you.